Alrighty. We should be all live. I can see the audio moving up and down. I can see the screen there. Select a decent resolution on that screen. Alright. We should be right to go. I don't see us having any big issues on there. Alright. So, Storm Legion box. I finally got my hands on one. This is not so much a Privateer Press problem and more my poor money management problem. But it's taken me till now to get one. I knew it was coming and I kept forgetting to put money aside for it and buying other stuff. Like new cameras for stream, lights for stream, backdrops for photography, terrain. And then, oh, right, yeah, army box. I was supposed to buy that. But we're here now. So, let's get it open and have a look. I haven't seen models. I've seen pictures of what's in here. Okay, there's 4 boxes. Some instructions, which is nice because the way Mk4 works, for those who aren't aware, weapons are interchangeable. They do come with magnets. You can swap stuff in and out. And your builds are very much different depending on what weapon loadout you decide to give. I do have one model that I've already, or 2 models that I've already magnetized. We'll take out all these boxes. I don't know what's in each one. I do know there's some infantry and stuff in the box. You can actually see on the front what is in there. So yeah, box number 1 seems a good one to start with. So this one, well, Striker and Course I've already unboxed on stream. These ones look a bit darker, which I'm told the different coloured print, because this one is darker than the one that I've done before. Apparently the darker coloured print, as well as being a little more flexible, is printed at a different place. It still looks a really good quality, but I'm not going to go too far into those 2 little packs. And for reference, this is one that I've been painting up. This is the Striker. As you can see, the head is magnetized, but that is the one head that I started work on so far. If I can sit it into the slot properly. I will be starting work on more of this stuff hopefully soon, because we're really keen to get some Mk4 stuff happening here as well. If you've seen our 40K streams, you'll know that I've been doing all the computer side of things rather than the actual filming, like being on screen. So what will happen at some point is I'm going to have to teach someone to do the computer stuff so that I can stream some Mk4. Otherwise, we can do some filmed reports, because filming everything and then editing it together later is, in a lot of ways, easier. If I did have a stream deck and stuff like that, we could do it that way, but at the moment I don't, and I'm focused on improving other stuff out here first. So this is the Warcaster that, what is her name? Athena DeBarro, with a slightly bent but fixable, looks like an explosive tipped spear. I'm guessing it's supposed to be, like most things in the Storm Legion, some form of electronic weapon. Probably has a discharge effect. She is they call it a Scout Warcaster. So she's good to use in 30-point games, for small games. So she's also balanced around that point as well as the bigger games. The castle that came in the battle box, the battle group that was from Las Vegas Open, I think it was, is not the Scout caster, despite the fact that would have been a better option. I think Privateer Press kind of missed the mark on that one there. But the model quality for me has been great. I've had one broken part that I didn't even realize was broken when I'd done the unboxing. But we got that all fixed up. They sent out a replacement part for us. Legionnaire F. Okay. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Okay, so there's one support they haven't taken off here. That'll be easy to fix. Okay. So that's like that. And then a backpack. I don't know whether what direction the backpack's supposed to go. I'm guessing it goes upwards like that. And then we get something that looks like that. So it's a really nice model. The joints are really quite snug. So that'll be nice for when it comes to assembly. I have seen people complaining about layer lines, but I don't see any obvious ones here. I can still see, I mentioned before about how it sometimes looks a little too shiny when I look at 3D printed stuff. The light reflections don't just don't look right because there is that slight texture. But a standard priming normally fits that. I'm using Vallejo Surface Primer. I normally use the black one. Sometimes a light grey one they have. And that's normally enough to take away any of the 3D printed looking texture that comes through with it. These guys are the Stormblade Infantry. So we have quite a few bodies. I'm guessing some of these parts look like they may be interchangeable. So I may be able to do some cool looking stuff. These are Stormblade. So they're the sword and shield. I have to keep rechecking the names. The shields, I really like the shields they've done for the Signar. I think I can do some really nice painting with these. So you get, because it's a full unit of 5, units tend to be 3 or 5 these days. So I don't see any major issues here. We have the right amount of parts from what I can see. Parts look of good quality, and they're lovely models. Gluing these is always a little bit annoying for me because I hate working with super glue. But if I'm getting good quality models, I'm okay with that, honestly. I do have plans to return to paint streams possibly tomorrow. So I may, tonight after I finish packing up all the stream stuff from in the garage where I am now, because I'm not in my normal painting desk, I will be slowly, part of the improvements I was talking about before, I will be moving all of my hobby stuff out to the garage. So I will not be sitting at my regular computer doing hobby stuff and getting distracted by the computer. It'll also give me a bit of a time to, yeah, your studio. Yes, this is becoming more and more my studio. There are a lot of improvements to be done, and honestly, I could have a space 3 times this size and it still wouldn't be enough for me. Yep. I lost a base. So these ones are the spears. they've done the one thing that I don't like. Right. And that is separate arms. Because this, having to glue that together, is always annoying for me. But I can understand, because of how brittle 3D printing can be, I can understand them not wanting to do both arms and then trying to clip it in. But it'd be nice if they had have done like print that the arm with one arm with the body, so then you just glue the spear on. Again, I'll have to check and make sure that they all line up. One thing that Privateer Press has never really been good with these infantry models is trying to make sure that the parts are unique enough that they've either got to be unique enough that you can visibly tell which one goes with which part, or similar enough that it doesn't matter. I don't know if they've gone which way they've gone with assembly for these. But again, no missing parts. Do have the extra base there. So I have some, gluing my fingers together is less of a pain now because I finally went and got some super glue deactivator. But I have to be very careful. I haven't tried it on this resin. I did try a little bit of it on a model I was working on, and it melted some of the plastic. So that is something that I have to be very aware of and very careful of. Thankfully, the model I was doing it on, while it is going to be a display model, having a little bit more corrosion on the hull isn't an issue, because that's the look I'm going for. I'm going for the look of a derelict airship. Yeah. It's a Caradron Overlord's frigate, the middle-sized model, and the idea is that it's the crew and their force in general have been down on their luck. They haven't been able to harvest much of the Aether gold they normally use as a currency, from what I can gather from the lore. So the ship's worn down, the hull's not clean anymore, it's falling apart, they've got patches on the hull. The hull's all corroded. There's actually a visible texture on there that I've added on. So there's two standard bearers. Most of these are labeled M. I'll have to check the parts list to make sure that's correct and there wasn't supposed to be an M and an F or something like that. That's a pretty weighty piece. That might actually be heavy enough to be annoying. No, that's okay. Emergency notifications on my phone. So that might be heavy enough to actually sort of affect the base. And I'm not a huge fan of that pose there. Or is that supposed to be on the other side? That's supposed to be on the other side. It's got to be. Look at the picture. Nope. They're tilting that behind them. All right. So it is. Goes in there. And then a blade this side. Holding back like that feels a little unnatural to me. But then, yeah, I'm sure wearing a steampunk powered set of power armor would probably feel pretty unnatural to me too. But I'll have, it is a cool looking banner. I really love that banner. I'm sure I can do some interesting work with that. Especially this side. Double check the other one is the same, because I feel like it is, Looking at the picture there, both banners are the same, so that should be right. Here we go. Yep, it's all the same parts. No big defects. This one doesn't have the extra supports on its face. Supports are easy to clean off. You just have to be careful. Sharp hobby blade, something like that. But do it with a fresh blade, so you're cleaning nice clean cuts. Arcane mechanics. I do like my mechanics. Retribution have some really nice mechanic rules. The models weren't fantastic. This is a unit of 3. Standard, every mechanic has to have a giant hammer, because apparently smashing things with a hammer is how we make them work. And a hook. Hammer and a hook? I don't know. I don't know what these are supposed to be. Like little flamers or something, maybe? But this one doesn't look right. So I'll have to have a look at that. Can I see any difference on here? Nope, that's how it looks on here. Okay. I just can't identify what it is. I will have a closer look and see what it's supposed to be, because there will be a weapons profile for it somewhere, I'm guessing. And that'll help define what it is. It almost looks like some sort of flamethrower. Tempest Thunderers. Okay, these are the power armor dudes with guns. I feel like I'm getting most of the way through this box already. It's still more models to unlock, to open apparently. Blowtorch, yeah, it could be a blowtorch. I can't actually look up what it is at the moment because I've got my tablet over there showing me chat. I normally use my tablet for the new Warmachine app, so I can't do both things at the same time. Alright. Ah, okay. It's not broken parts, it's how they slot in. So they're printed as only 2 pieces, these ones, which is kind of nice. I like that it's printed as 2 pieces. They're a nice looking gun. It's a really bulky set of armor. It's almost like if it was much bulkier than that, you'd be thinking the Khador Man of War style armor. I haven't seen their stat line or anything like that yet, but they look cool, and I kind of want to be making sure they're some of the first things I paint. I'm going to be doing the jacks first, because I need to finish the jacks first, and I've got 2 of each jack. I did forget to get magnets for this box, because I didn't realise the website I'd bought it off. Because the magnets are sent as a separate package, some stores have sold them as separate packages instead of selling them together. And I didn't realise, because I was not paying attention, that I only bought that. That's everything. This cell intentionally left empty for packaging integrity. i.e., they've sent an empty box to make sure that all of the other boxes don't move around. I'm guessing this probably originally had the magnets in it, Privateer Press discovered early on when they were sorting out these boxes that in some countries they were not allowed to ship magnets as part of the box because these are classed as a toy in some countries. Which, yes, we play games with them, they're toys. So, back onto the discussion of painting. So this is the one I'm working on at the moment. You can see it has been weathered and chipped and scraped. That is the look I'm going to go for the Storm Legion. These guys are beaten up. I haven't added any dirt passes on this yet because I wanted to finish all of the colours before I started adding extra dirt and stuff onto it. But yeah, it's going to be a dirty, so you know, there's chipping everywhere. All of the jacks will be heavily chipped. The soldiers will just be kind of dirty. Arcane Mechanics Torch. Spray 4, power 10, lightning. And possible continuous effect. Okay. So they are a blowtorch, which means I'll have to decide whether I'm going to do, depending on what's on the actual torch, maybe I have to do like a little bit of a glow back on the weapon as well. That'd be nice. There's still a lot of work to do on this guy. I couldn't see some of the details like around the groin plate on the back when I was starting to paint this. So as more and more pictures come out and I can see more and more of what people have done and painted and what details everyone's decided to do, what colour, I can add more of that in now. But yeah, for the chipping on these I've used hairspray actually. So I've painted it brown, sprayed it with hairspray, well, done a gloss varnish I should say first, painted it with hairspray, airbrushed it the blue, and then come back with a wet paintbrush and just rub back the blue paint in some areas to expose the brown, and then filled in the center of that with the metal paint. I've done the same thing. I masked everything off for the white, repainted the brown, gloss varnish, hairspray, then put the white over top and chip that in exactly the same method. It's probably not going to be viable to do that for most of the infantry because there's not that many armor plates and the chips will be a lot smaller. They're not going to be, most infantry are not going to take a shot from a K-Door cannon and survive. Jacks can. But yeah. So that's everything unboxed. It's actually, for the cost, it's not a bad amount of minis. They're nice looking miniatures. And so far I'm really liking the look of Mark IV. I just can't wait to get in and be able to play some. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully soon. I'm always going to be looking to improve what is going to be referred to as the studio space, but it's also my garage and where I have to store a lot of stuff. It's also my painting area. There will be a specialist desk moved out here. Not a specialist desk, but I'm getting a desk out here that will be able to set up my airbrushing, my normal painting, and my computer. How many points? So they market it as, I believe, 75 points. It's either 50 or 75 points. I don't know if it says on here. No, it doesn't say. But I did see somewhere that it was either 15 or 25 points. The small box, which has the Heavy Jack, the Light Jack, and Anson Wolf, the Warcaster, that was 30 points. And you can do like 35 points with it. So I think this one is marketed as 50, but you can get close to 75 depending on your weapon options and whether you're using every single model. Add that to being able to use the extra 2 Warjacks from the starter box, I should be able to do 75 to 100 points. It's not going to be as many points as I have for that I can field for like my Menoth or my Retribution. But it's going to be a really good starting point. And given how hard it's going to be for to get the older Signar models, I've actually given away. I had some heavy jacks, some light jacks, a couple of casters, and some Storm Blade dudes, the Halberds, the old Halberds. So I've given them away to a new player who can use them to start out trying the game out. And then I'm going to just focus on the new Signar. I still do want to get a lot of the old Scorn stuff, like the Mark III and earlier Scorn, but I'm not sure how that's going to go. Same as there's a lot more Retribution stuff that I want to collect and paint. But yeah, that's basically where we're going to end things tonight. I will have a look at cleaning some of this stuff up, trying to get it primed and maybe doing some work tomorrow. But if not, I'll find something to work on for stream tomorrow. I will have everything set up and ready to go. Yeah. Until I see you next time.